It was not a grand dream of riches or fame. It was a simple dream, yet a powerful one. He loved bicycles since childhood. He loved how two wheels could carry a person across miles with only the power of their legs. To him, bicycles meant freedom. He imagined helping children ride to school, helping workers reach their jobs, helping travelers continue their journeys. He pictured people leaving his shop smiling, their bicycles rolling smoothly again. Just thinking about it gave him hope. But whenever Elliot tried to take a step toward this dream, something pulled him back. It was not a physical chain. It was not a locked door. It was his own thoughts. He remembered one evening, sharing his dream with friends. They laughed kindly, but without belief. "Elliot," one said, "you don't have enough money for a shop. Be realistic. Dreams don't pay bills." Another added, "There are already many workshops in town. Why would anyone come to yours?" Their words sank into his mind like heavy stones. The next morning, he overheard neighbors talking. "That boy is too young. He should just find a regular job." Elliot's chest grew tight. He wanted to shout, "I can do it." But the voice inside him whispered, "Maybe they are right. What if I fail? What if I lose everything before I even begin?" Days turned into weeks. Elliot still worked small jobs here and there, delivering packages, cleaning yards, fixing things for neighbors. But the dream of a workshop remained in his heart like a light covered by clouds. Every time he thought of starting, a shadow of doubt rose. "You are not good enough. You will only embarrass yourself. You will never succeed." These thoughts repeated again and again until Elliot felt weaker than ever. One evening, unable to carry the weight in his mind, Elliot walked out of town. He followed the path to the river, where the air was fresh and the noise of the town faded. He sat on a rock, watching the water flow. His head was full of noise, but the river moved silently, without effort, always forward. Not far away, an old fisherman sat mending his nets. He looked up and noticed Elliot's troubled face. His voice was calm, steady like the river. "Young man, you seem heavy with worry. What troubles you?" Elliot sighed deeply. "I want to build a workshop. It has been my dream for years. But every time I think of starting, I hear voices telling me I will fail. My friends doubt me. My neighbors doubt me. Even my own mind doubts me. I feel trapped." The fisherman nodded slowly. He picked up a small stone from the riverbank and tossed it into the flowing water. Ripples spread across the surface, then disappeared as the river continued its endless journey. "Look at the water," the fisherman said. "This river teaches us something. Life will always flow. Negative thoughts are like stones. They disturb you for a moment, but the water keeps moving. If you hold a stone tightly in your hand, it becomes heavy. But if you throw it away, you can walk freely again." Elliot stared at the ripples. For the first time, he realized that his real enemy was not the lack of money, not the competition, not even the doubts of others. It was his own negative thinking. That night, as he walked home, he made a promise to himself. Whenever a negative thought appeared, he would replace it with a positive one. The next morning, his mind whispered, "You don't have enough money to open a shop." Elliot answered firmly, "I will start small. One tool at a time is enough." Later, the thought returned, "Nobody will come to your shop." Elliot replied, "If I work with honesty and care, people will notice me. Good work speaks louder than doubt." And when his mind said, "You are not good enough," he reminded himself, every master was once a beginner. Every strong tree was once a small seed. With this new attitude, Elliot began. He could not afford a big shop, but he found a small empty corner near the bus station. With saved coins and borrowed tools, he set up a wooden bench, a box of parts, and a hand-painted sign, Elliot's Bicycle Repairs. The first days were quiet. People passed by without stopping. Some even chuckled at his small setup. At night, Elliot felt the old doubts returning. Maybe they were right. Maybe this is foolish. But then he remembered the river. He closed his eyes and replaced the thought. This is not failure. This is the first step. Every journey begins small. Slowly, a few curious travelers came. A man with a flat tire, a boy whose chain had fallen off. Elliot repaired their bicycles carefully, speaking with kindness and patience. He charged little money, but he gave his full effort. The customers noticed his positive energy. This young man is different, they thought. They told their friends. Word began to spread. Still, the road was not easy. Once, a customer grew angry when a repair broke again. After 2 days, Elliot's face burned with shame. The old voice whispered, "See, you are not good enough." But Elliot breathed deeply and replaced it with, "Mistakes are lessons. I will fix it again, better than before." He apologized, repaired the bicycle without charge, and promised himself to learn from it. The customer, touched by his honesty, came back again weeks later. As months passed, more bicycles rolled into Elliot's small corner. Travelers liked his fair prices. Children liked his friendly smile. Workers trusted his careful hands. Little by little, the workshop grew. He bought better tools, built a stronger bench, and painted a brighter sign. The space that once looked empty now buzzed with life. One evening, his old friends visited. They looked around, surprised. "Elliot, we never thought you could do this. How did you succeed?" Elliot smiled. "At first, I did not believe in myself either. But then I learned something important. Negative thinking kills dreams before they begin. Positive thinking gives you the courage to act." Problems still came, but with a positive mind, I had the strength to face them. His friends nodded, speechless. For them, Elliot's workshop was not just a shop. It was proof that belief could turn weakness into strength. Years later, Elliot's workshop became one of the most trusted in the town. People came not only for repairs, but for encouragement. They said, "Elliot's hands fix bicycles, but his words fix hearts." Parents sent their children to learn from him, not just skills, but attitude. Elliot always told them, "Remember, life gives both problems and opportunities. What you see depends on your thinking. If you think dark, everything looks dark. If you think bright, everything shines." And so, Elliot's life became a living example of one truth. Positive thinking does not remove obstacles, but it gives the power to rise above them. The same young man who once drowned in doubt had built a life of hope, one repaired bicycle at a time. When you train your mind to see light, you will find a way even in the darkest tunnel. Share this story with someone who needs a little hope today.